Hey, welcome back. So, last video went pretty good. Some guys said that the sound was a little quieter, and I think I figured out why that was. When I play with my headset, I play WoW with my son. He's in the Marine Corps, and so I kind of play what he likes to play. I don't mind WoW, but it's not my all-time favorite thing to do, but it's fun. And the mic that I have on my headset's super sensitive, so anybody talking in the background, he hears everything. So I turned that down, and that seemed to be affecting everything. So now talking normal, I'm getting into the yellow a little bit here, and I think it was about halfway up. So we'll try this, and if it's not loud enough, please let me know. But we are going to do the 845 Confederate turn right now, and probably the Union turn. So let's go to the charts, get right into it. Remember, there's some restrictions if you watch the first video. If you haven't seen that, I'd encourage you to watch that. That goes through all the orders that everybody's under. I may repeat some of that, but I try to keep it to a minimum. The command phase is pretty much null and void for the first few rounds here because they already have their orders. There's no attack fluke stoppage, so therefore there's no attack recovery. So we'll just go right to the movement and combat for the Confederates. So let me see what the Confederates get for reinforcements coming in this turn. So we might as well do that. I should maximize that because it looks better, I think. Let's see. Let's go to the Confederate markers. 845, we have the rest of Davis minus the 55th B, North Carolina B, and the 11th Mississippi. So let's go find Heath, and let's go find Davis. He's got some big boys. So we get the 2nd Mississippi there. We'll put him there. 2nd Mississippi B. The 55th B and 11th Mississippi is the only ones we don't, so we don't get that one. We do get the 42nd A and B. And then we should get A, the 55th North Carolina. Okay. Let's put all those in one stack. And then I think we get Davis. Oh, Davis is a 0-0. I remember from the rule book, the 0-0 guys, they stink. So you got to roll to see if they even do anything. Just double checking. Did I forget to bring Archer out when I brought out? I think I did. Yeah, I think I forgot to bring out Archer last turn. He's supposed to come out with the beginning guys. So we're going to grab Archer real quick. That's a little bit of a learn how to read these reinforcement charts, I guess. All right, so where are you at, Archer? Oh, here. Oh, he's not a 0-0 anyway. Huh? So we'll put him at the head of the column. Because he can move with a unit as a stack. So we'll just put him at the head of the column here. And go with that for now. All right, so I'm just kind of looking at the chart here, and I thought it was just saying Archer, his whole brigade, but it is also the leader. So I'll have to watch for that. Okay, so we got that coming out. And then we got Johnson, A and B with Pegram. So I think he's 3rd Corps. Johnson, A and B. Boom. T. That's my cat. She is one of the reasons I play with Vassal. She's pretty good about not getting up on stuff, but she's got this whole Call of the Wild thing. Runs over. You want to grab the cat for me, Erica? That's fine. So, Erica's going to grab the cat. I told them, I said, if you hear the cat start howling, somebody please come get the cat. we started feeding her some soft food and some treats. She's always just eating dry food, and ever since then, now she gets really vocal when she thinks she needs a treat or something. It's funny. Okay, so we got those two coming in Area A. I don't want to make any assumptions, so I'll read the orders. Pretty sure I know what they are, but I just want to double check them. The batteries are under order number 2, which they have to join their formation. So they're going to head down to Pegram and get with these other dudes here. And then Davis, they're under orders number 1. So they have to deploy on Her Ridge Road. And then once they're deployed, execute the recon in force. Just want to make sure I got all the orders right here real quick. Just want to check. Yeah. So let's see, what heights did it say they gotta go to? It said they go to move to 2019 and 2019. So right here at the crossroad, and then deploy. Okay, so they're just gonna be moving that way. So we got all these guys. Now, one of the restrictions is once these guys come out of column, they cannot go back into column, but we also don't want to get crazy into column up on here and start getting bombarded, because when you're in column, essentially it acts like you have all like flank and rear facing, I think. So we don't want to do that. All right, so let me think a little bit. Just going to zoom out of here. Now the cavalry, they're really brittle. So they don't want to get into a knockdown drag out with us. The only thing I want to see is, can we see from here to here? Okay. Because we'll be able to fire if we can see from there to there. So I want to use that chart. So this is an interesting little chart. I've never really used it. So essentially, this artillery, if it was firing, has to be up in this highest spot. Actually, it's on the peak. And this guy's on the peak. So I think we're going to be good. Yeah, I think we're good on that, because this would be able to see over that, and that right here is the same height as this now because of the ridge. So this house doesn't do anything, I don't think. The only height, let's see, does it have height on here? There's only a few things that caused height issues. Oh, it's right here. Woods, orchard, towns, and crest. This isn't a town. So we're good. Okay, so these guys would be able to do some shelling, so we'll be able to do some battery fire. I don't know if that's good or not in this game. These guys are all going to be hidden because this is a ridge, this is a ridge, this is woods. These guys are hiding behind the ridge. You can't shoot at the leader. So we got to do a stack at a time, huh? So kind of trying to debate if this would even be worth firing with 2 on it, because at long range we're just risking at 16 plus it's going to be 4 shifts to the left, and so I don't think we'll do anything yet. I think we're going to get these batteries ready, because we can put 16 in a hex. We'll see if these guys got enough to get over there. Then we got Pegram can float on over here, so he can start, because if he's next to or stacked with a unit, they will be able to fire more than one shot. Or more than, so normally like if I fired this guy here to here, that's it. I can't fire him here to here. But if I got Pegram here, then he can do that. He can fire with up to 3 that he's touching or stacked with. So he'd have to be here if all 3 of these wanted to one at a time. They'd fire at 2, 2, and 3. But with a 4-column shift, that's pretty rough. You know, they're all right here. So, actually they go 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. And if it drops off, you don't even get to shoot. So that makes up our mind for us. So we got to get these stacked up so we got bigger numbers to make it worth it. And even that, we're going to be getting 4 shifts. So, all right, so let's do that. So these guys could follow the road, go into here, and then flip over. They got plenty of movement for that because they got 10 total, and I'm still going to learn where all these things are at. And limbered guns have 10, and it costs 3. So we got plenty of movement. So half, 1, flip over, so 4. Now, these guys are all stacked together. I might have to look that rule up. I don't know if you can move, because you got to do each stack one at a time. So I don't think I can move one in there, then move another, and then fire this whole stack. I don't think, because technically once he started and finished, he can't do anything. So I don't think I can. But we got, 7 guns up there ready to start blazing away next turn. All right, so let's get some more of these guys. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5 to get there. And if we flip, and that was with flipping, the extra 3 was for flipping. So we'll put all those there. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Costs 3 to, that's 9. Now, as a new guy, this is seeming like a pretty good deal, I think. But I'm starting to wonder. I don't know how if only the top unit runs out of ammo, or if everybody does if you fire a big stack. So until I know that, I'm going to stop these 2 batteries here, A and B. I'm kind of super like OCD on like, well, Branders A and B would be together technically, 4 guns, Napoleons and rifles. So you don't have to do that, but that's just a me thing. Okay, so let's move Pender. He's got tons of movement. So 1, 2, 3. So this way, next turn now, he can fire this stack and then this stack. So we got a 4 shooting and I don't know if I like a 4 shooting though. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. So it's going to put us at the negative B column. We get 11 for morale check, and if we roll a 12, they're... Oh, we got more guns coming. We do got more guns. You know what? I'm going to stack them all like they were. Because, I mean, that's what... So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. Well, the most I could fire is 6 to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is just... Okay. So in the game, it talked about artillery is just going to be a lot of noise from long range. And now I'm seeing that. The only game I played was Dogs of War, and Dogs of War, you had a lot of shots that you didn't even have a shift. And you had a few shots that were canisters. So, so they got to be on this ridge. I guess we'll do some counter battery next turn and see. We'll fire one shot, see if it matters. I'm going to look up those rules, though, because if the whole stack goes out of ammo, then I don't think I want to do that. All right, so here we are with Archer. Archer's going to have to fan out to the right side here. Well, yeah, it'd be the right, and then Davis will go to the left. So Archer's got to go up here and then deploy on here. Ridge Road is his deal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'd be 7 to get there. They only have They only have 8. It only costs 1 to... So I guess they could go to here and then deploy. I guess. They do have their column, though, which has to use the movement point to roll up, so we can't do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to deploy, or 1 to move up the... 1 to move the column up, because you got to spend a movement point, or half movement point, I guess, to get him up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5, 7.5 to deploy. And then he's behind that. I don't think it matters if you put Archer. So let's do that. So this guy would be able to go all the way down to here. This would go away. And then he flips and deploys. I think the rest of them we're going to do just... An Archer actually has to go to here. So then he can start deploying. Start directing traffic. I think we're going to do the same with these guys, but we're going to keep them behind this. I mean, we just saw that the artillery isn't that effective, I guess. So, we'll probably see. Let's go. All right, so I gotta be able to use a half movement point to roll this column up in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'll cost me 1 to go to line for 7, and I need the half to go up. So I can go up to here, and that's the furthest they can go anyway, so it didn't really matter. They're on this ridge line technically, but we're not going to hide. We're just going to keep going forward, because when I was looking at, if they want to fire there, I was looking at counter battery fire at 16. That's to here. That's 6. What was it, 15? So I think that might give us 1 less shift. 3 shifts. So that's a little better. But if he wants to fire at these guys, he's at 16 plus. So he's going to have 4 shifts. The most he's going to have is 6 guns. 6 to 8 is the most they can fire. So 1, 2, 3. So if he wants to do that, he can do that. We got to start deploying, right? We can't fiddle fart around all morning. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then another 1.5 to pull the column up and to deploy into line. So they're going to be 2 spaces apart, it looks like, on all these. Now, these guys here that did that cannot go into column anymore, but we don't care. They're basically going to get up on her ridge here with Archer. When Davis comes rolling up in another turn, then we'll get to do our recon and force. So that's what we're really bucking for here. All right, so let's do like we did the last time. Let's flip all these dudes. It doesn't really work to do that. Too big of a stack on there. Okay, so let's flip all these dudes so they're in column. He doesn't flip, but he's gonna go with the infantry. Okay, so this is 2 guns, so these guys don't have to have any. It's every 4 guns you have to have a road column, so we're good there. So we'll start out with this guy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll look at how far they can go. Limbered can go 10. But I think they could stack with the infantry, but we're fine. We won't do that. Because it's only a half axe. Oops. What am I doing there? Putting a bunch of odd ammo things on there. Can't do that on a tabletop game. Okay, so. Boop. All right. Then this guy will go right behind him. All right, now let's look at these big monster regiments of Heath here. So, now this I'll have to kind of decide how picky I want to be with this, because the rules say, like here we have the 2nd Mississippi. Oh, he didn't flip. We have the 2nd Mississippi A and the 2nd Mississippi B. Now the rule says that these do not have to stay together. That just seems wrong. That they can drift apart, but that's what it says. So, but I'll tend to want to keep them together, but we'll see. All right, so that guy would have been 2 to go to here instead of 1. So this next guy is going to come out with a 3 because they're in a big long line off the board. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that's all they move, right? 8. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I do that right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he would go to there. And he needs a road column. This next guy would go, he would go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm guessing they'll all go like that, but I like to count it out just to make sure, right? We'll call him that. So he's got a column. And then this guy would go 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, they're all going to just be, because of the road column, they'll all be 1 hex apart. So I'm just going to do this to speed it up. And then we got this guy here. And this guy here. And we said Davis was going to come in at the head of the column. With those guys, he could go further than that, but we're fine. All right, so there comes the rest of Davis down the road. Next turn, we can start shuffling these guys. Get them over here so they're ready to get on this road. I'm just gonna have to see what the artillery from far range can do. We'll let those cavalry guns fire. Maybe we'll get lucky. They'll roll a 12 and they'll be out of ammo for the morning. Maybe we'll do the same thing. I'll have to look up that rule for the next turn, because next turn they will be. Well, we might have to look it up for this turn for these dudes. See if they got line of sight and if it's worth it. I don't think I want to move this guy yet, because he's only got to get to this road when he's ready. These guys all moved. Heath doesn't need to move. He's good. Pegram is there in case I split up these guns, put more guns over here. All right, so if I did that, it'd be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe I should have did 7 and 8. But it's too late now. I could limber, move a half, unlimber, and I don't think I can fire then. So it's too late now. I did it. It's over. Just have to leave it. Rookie command. It's the way it is. I don't want to do too many do-over mistakes, because that'll get cheesy. Okay, so let's look at the charts. Let's look at the, not this. We want to look at the turn. No, not the turn track. We do want the charts. So that's it. There's no rally. There's no counter battery fire. There's no loss recovery. That's only at midnight. So the Union turn. For the Union turn, we do get to 8:45. So we roll one dice, and on a 1, the Iron Brigade will be released. Oh, it was a 2. That was close. So that's it. They got no other reinforcements coming in. So if we look at the charts, we don't worry about any of the orders, attack, recovery, and fluke stoppage right now because they're already under their orders from before. So we'll basically go to the activity phase. The orders are the cavalry is supposed to defend everything east of Willoughby Run, which is this run right here. And these dudes are coming up the road, and they got to get to the peach orchard, I believe. And when they get to this spot right here, they halt. And I will check that to make sure. Well, will they even make it there this turn? So let's see. These guys have a movement allowance of. Still looking. I don't have everything memorized yet. 8, I think it was, right? Columns. So 16 hexes, basically. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. No, so they won't make it there anyway. So next turn they'll make it there, and they have to halt, I believe, is the orders. And then when they halt there, Reynolds will be able to start giving orders after that. And they really are going to want the... You guys need to quit making coffee. They got a bit... Well, I don't know. They hear crackling of guns? Probably a little bit that far away. I guess they'll hear when Peagram's gun starts going off on her ridge, so maybe that's why they'll quit making coffee. So this right here, I don't think I need to move anything. You know, I think we're gonna take a shot, and if we roll an out of ammo thing, we'll worry about it then. But we got to start shooting. You know, if we wait till they're all down here, I don't know. I don't know enough about the game to know. That's the fun part of the first time you play a game. What do you do? So I think the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to move this big monster column. And then Reynolds will be able to get to the top. Because he'll have 1, 2, 3 extra movement. He can ride with Cutler, so we'll just move him up there now. And then we're going to grab that whole thing. It'll move 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So the George Roadhouse on the ridge. And then I just like to grab them all because it's a lot easier than moving one at a time. And then I can just do this. And my daughter will come get the cat again. Can you just like keep her in there instead of letting her out over and over? You tried. She weighs all of, 5 pounds. Okay, so yeah, let's just leave them like that. These don't really matter as far as which way they're pointing. It just represents the tail, right? Is that one right? Oh yeah, because it's 8. So it'd be 3, 6, 7, 8. Make sure I did all those right. Yep, I did those. Actually, I didn't do them right because they started that way. So, and the guns could go faster, but you're not allowed to move past things in column. So those guys have all moved. So this will be pretty simple. There's no reason for us to move the cav until Archer and Davis start moving across the little valley here between the two little hills. So I think we're going to take a shot. Wondering if we should counter battery these guys and try to get a counter battery. If you get a morale or a numbered thing, you put a counter battery on them. And we know that it's only 15. So I think we might try to do that. So these guys will fire as a stack. They're rifle guns. So let's go look at the chart. So here's our first. This should get the Iron Brigade rolling. They should hear the boom of the guns off in the distance. So they're rifle guns. They have a max range of 30. Canister type doesn't matter. Artillery, it's going to be 3 shifts to the left. None of this other stuff is going to matter. So if we start on the 6 to 8, we go 1, 2, 3. So we have an 8 to 12 chance of getting them. Now we don't want to roll an 11 or a 12 because that puts us out of ammo, and there's no ammo anywhere on the board in the morning. So here we go. Woo, got an 8. So just enough for a morale check. So they're all C, but you always use the top unit. So let's go to the chart. Morale. There's going to be, when you're a strong unit, there's no bad modifiers really. This would be a good time to maybe have Pegram on there because the first number is command, second is morale, I think. So there's no bad stuff there. This artillery or cavalry +1 is only if there's small arms fire shooting at them. They don't worry about other artillery. So we're just going to be a straight up roll on the C. So an 8 or higher will be bad. Oh, a 9. Shaken, back 2, and we lose a gun. Okay, that's the whole stack. Okay, now I know why I don't want to put everybody in a stack. So they have to limber because they're artillery. What did I say it was? Back 2, lose a gun because I was a 9 with no modifiers. So they would go 1. They could go 1, 2, but they can move through him as long as they don't end on him. They can freely move through infantry. So I'm just going to move them straight back. I'll zoom in a little bit here. And this guy will decrease to a 1. So now that doesn't necessarily mean a gun got knocked out. It could mean horses ran off, horses got shot up, a wagon busted. Is a morale loss, which doesn't matter for the Confederates, but if it was me firing at Caliph's battery, that would not, well, Caliph doesn't matter, but let's say that was a morale loss. One of these cavalry guys, remember, that will not affect them as far as morale rolls. So we got our first loss. And now I know why I don't want to retreat, though, because you do everything as a stack. And that is, I should have had 2 stacks there, because then when the other guns came, I could have had a stack of 7 and a stack of 8, but now I got a stack of nothing. Oh, and there was a condition too. So they were shaken back 2 and lose 1. So they're shaken. I'm not sure yet. I do like whoever made the module. I really do like it when they have the, like you can just put the condition on the top unit. So we could do, where is it out on here? So we could lower morale. So he's shaken. But I kind of like the counter. I don't know. I'm not sure what I want to do with that yet. What do you guys think? Counters or not? I kind of like, I can still see it's artillery. I love the fact that you don't have to put counters underneath here, so you can see what the actual strength is by hovering over it, because whoever programmed this, that's sweet. Pretty nice when you guys do that. Some of these guys that make these modules, thank you. You guys are awesome. So they fired. No one else is going to do anything, so I'm not going to mark them fired. You can mark them fired. So if you're doing a lot of stuff, that's it. So at 8:45, we had our first shots. The Confederates were dawdling on her ridge with the artillery, trying to get a big, massive group together, and then the horse artillery wailed away, and they regrouped because the fire got too hot, and they lost the gun. So it is what it is, right? Anyway, that's the first loss. I've played this game a zillion times, the Confederates. So I feel like I'm a little inclined to wanting the Confederates to win in the early stages, but that's the thing when you play kind of solo, is it's a conundrum over and over, because like there'll be different times I want my Union guys to do better and different times for the Rebels. So let's just take a look at the chart, make sure there's nothing we're forgetting. So the rally would be for the Union. Okay, so we technically would have placed one of these, right? And then when you retreat, that goes away anyway. So like if the battery would have sat there and passed their morale check, they would have had a counter battery marker on them, which would have made it another, it's either a minus modifier or it's a shift. I'll look that one up on my own time. I can't remember which one it is, but I thought it would be right here, but it's not. Anyway, so yeah. Oh, you know what? Let's look at this real quick. That's a closing roll. So I was wondering if maybe I forgot any modifiers, but I did not. Yeah, we're good, I think. Okay, well, that's it. We got Heath and Archer and Davis of Heath's division rolling up. So hopefully they'll get launched here pretty soon, drive this cavalry off. We knocked back the Confederate batteries, which is really embarrassing. So I don't think we'll put big stacks of batteries anymore because it drives the whole battery off. I'll go through and check the rules, but I'm pretty sure everything happens to the stack. And we got Reynolds making his way up here. Now they can hear the guns booming. Hopefully the Iron Brigade wakes up, but I think it only changes to a 1 or a 2 next turn, so apparently they're not too rattled with the sound of guns, but yeah, so that's it. There it is. And I'll get this one posted up, and we'll get on to the next turn when things are going to start getting well, they're not going to really start. Takes about the first hour to get everything in place. The only difference will be is when Cutler starts coming up behind the cavalry. We can start to see how things are going to shake out and if he's going to be able to hold this stuff back. There are restrictions on who's the other guys? I can't remember their name off the top of my head. Brockenbrough and Pettigrew, they have restrictions on attacking early on. They have to be in kind of a reserve, technically not a reserve as far as the game rules go, but they're just, kind of held in reserve in case things went bad or they ran into more enemies than they thought. So, but eventually they'll get unleashed. All right, that's it. Just kind of rambling now. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you for the next turn.